A year ago, I built this crypto mining phone farm. In this video, I'm going to share exactly how much I made with this phone farm in its first year. We'll take a look at some of the changes I made, both good and bad, and answer the question, was it worth building a crypto mining phone farm, and should you build one too? For those of you who aren't familiar with crypto mining phone farms, let's start off with a quick overview. I made a video about a year ago when I built this phone farm. I'll link that video in the card above and in the description below. Essentially what I have is the Samsung A03s phones, which run mining software to mine the cryptocurrency veruscoin. Veruscoin is a privacy-oriented project working to offer public blockchains as a service and introduces new consensus algorithms called proof of power, which is 50% proof of work and 50% proof of stake. Currently, the network has mining hash rate of 700 gigahash per second, which is equivalent to over 230,000 mobile phones or 23,000 high-end CPUs. This mining hash rate has grown substantially in the last year, where it was only 202 gigahash per second in my original video, and has now grown largely driven by the increase in the price of veruscoin. In my original video, veruscoin was trading at just 37 cents a coin, and today you can see it's trading at $1.77 a coin. So a really nice price increase there. Not many crypto tokens and coins have seen that type of price performance over the last year. It's got a relatively large market cap now of $137 million, and you can see about 90% of the max supply is currently in circulation, so we shouldn't see a whole lot of inflation out of this project going forward. If we go down here to all-time highs were set in April of 2021, right near the top of the last bull market at $3.42. So about 100% still away from the all-time highs. So plenty of upside in my opinion. When I originally made my phone farm video, I had 30 phones running, and over the last year, I've made several big changes. First, I've added 19 additional phones, bringing my phone farm total to 49 phones at this point. I just ordered another one yesterday, so that'll bring my total up to 50. And long term, I'm hoping to fill up both racks and get to 60 phones mining Verus. Second, I switched my mining software in the original video to a new software which mines at a slightly higher hash rate, which means it earns me a little bit more. Plus, I found this new software to be much more reliable, which means less downtime and less need to troubleshoot. Third, I've added some fans behind the farm to keep things cool, which has also helped contribute to a slightly higher hash rate. Now, the phone farm has largely been a pretty hands-off project for me since I set it up, which has been really nice. As many of you know, that's not always the case with these crypto miners and crypto node projects. Occasionally, a phone will restart or need a software update, but overall uptime has been pretty close to 100%. So all those I would categorize as good changes. Now for a couple of the bad things that I've seen. Several of you warned me of the risk of cell phone batteries bubbling and possibly exploding if you keep them on for an extended period, and I would categorize a year on as an extended period. 3 of the phones from the original farm were a different model phone that I had accidentally ordered. They were the Samsung TCL A3s. And a few months ago, I walked into my utility room where I have this farm housed and saw light emitting from the side of these phones. And sure enough, the batteries had started to bubble on these phones. So I opted to turn these phones off and have not even tried to turn them back on since. One of my biggest fears when it comes to home crypto mining is something going wrong and potentially burning down my house, or worse, endangering my family. So as a safety measure, I have these Fireball fire extinguishers behind my phone farm to protect against a fire in the case that a phone were happen to blow up. In my opinion, you can never be too safe. So next, let's get to my costs and see how much my farm actually made me over the last year. The total cost came in at $2,584. You see $1,960 of that were my Samsung Galaxy A03s phones, a total of 49 at this point with an average cost of about $40 per phone. Now right now you can pick them up on Amazon for brand new for $50, but there is a limit of 2 phones per customer. So if you're looking to build a large farm, I would recommend looking over on eBay. You can find them secondhand a lot of times for between $30 and $40. Now something to keep in mind when you're purchasing them on eBay, I did buy one of my latest phones that had a cracked screen, and it made it very difficult for me to install the software and do all the software updates on the phone because I could only see half the screen. So if you're gonna buy one with a cracked screen, make sure you've got some pretty good visibility. Otherwise, it may be very difficult to install the software on that phone. I've also got my different accessories I purchased here. You may not need a lot of these. A lot of times people have extra charging cables sitting around. I'm just including all my expenses here for clarity purposes and to kind of take accounting of all my expenses. I will also link all these items in the description below if you're interested in picking any of them up. Now, a couple items to note about expenses. Just a reminder, crypto mining equipment and supplies can be depreciated and expensed for tax purposes, which can help to reduce your taxable income at the end of the year. I am personally a CPA, so I like to make sure people are aware of this benefit, but as a reminder, nothing in this video is financial advice or tax advice. Second, there's potential to repurpose these phones for other mining projects in the future if various mining weren't happen to work out long term. So I don't think that's going to happen, but that is a good another potential benefit. And third, there's a strong resale value market for these used phones on eBay. Just looking at eBay right now, I could sell most of these phones probably for about what I paid for them. So it's another huge benefit being able to potentially flip these phones after you mine them for a year. Now, I think the repurpose and resale value of these phones makes it for a much better purchase than some other crypto projects, such as some of these fake nodes you hear about, or mini ASIC box miners, which often quickly become worthless, as we've unfortunately seen on this channel in the past. So next, let's look at my total expenses. So my only expense that I incur for these is my electric expense. When I started the farm, I had 30 phones. It had a power usage of 152 watts. We take the average US electric rate of 16.5 cents per kilowatt hour. We're looking at 60 cents per day, or $219 per year. Currently with the phone farm at 49 phones, we're looking at power usage of 195 watts. I'll throw up a video of my meter box showing that now. And at the current average US electric rate, we're looking at 70 cents a day. And based on that calculation, we're looking at $281 in electric expense to run the phone farm per year. I am taking an average of these two just because I did build up from 30 to 49 over the last year. So for purposes of getting a relatively accurate expense compared to our revenue, we're taking that average $250 for the year. All right, now to the fun number, the mining revenue. But before we open that, do me a huge favor and hit that like button for me. It really does help to support the channel. So per my veruscoin wallet, I've mined a total of 837 veruscoins over the last year at a current price of $1.77 per coin. We're looking at total revenue of $1,481. Now there is another token called R, which is part of the pirate chain. It just started being able to dual mine with veruscoin back in April of this year. It hasn't earned very much, just 10 of those tokens so far, contributing to another $1.76 in earnings. So we're looking at total revenue of $1,483 over the last year. Now Verus has had quite the bump in price over the last 2 days. There's quite some bullish activity across crypto over the last day or two. So I know just a day or two ago, it was at $1.50. So we've seen quite the big appreciation in price, but obviously no complaints here. So next, let's look at the total P&L. So we take our revenue minus our expenses. You're looking at net income of $1,233 for the year. Now, if we compare that to our total costs, we're still about halfway to break even. Our break even time currently is 765 days, so just over 2 years. Now, if we were to look and see what price we need Verus to be to break even today, we're looking at $3.39. So we're actually pretty close at this point to breaking even on our phone farm. So not too bad. Next, let's look at what the profitability would look like if you were to start your own phone farm today. For that, we'll go to whattomine.com, which I found to be a great resource when analyzing mining profitability. So for this example, we'll just do one single phone. My phone farm, for each of my phones, are currently hashing at an average of 4.7 mega hash per second. My power usage is about 3.5 watts per phone. I'll throw up a video now of my meter box recording the wattage for one single phone. Power cost, we'll assume the average 16.5 cents per kilowatt hour US electric rate. Yours obviously may be higher or lower depending on where you live, and maybe you have solar, so you have free power, which would make this 100% profitable. Pool fees are standard about 1%, so we'll assume that. And hardware costs, we'll assume you can pick one of these up for about $40 today on eBay. So we calculate the profitability. You're looking at a revenue of 5 cents per day, cost of a penny, and net profit of 4 cents per day. So nothing to write home about, obviously. And obviously, you see this break-even time of 1,030 days. So about 3 years to break even on that cost. So doesn't sound great, but you also have to remind yourself that this is very speculative in terms of crypto miner. Now, if you're looking to set up your own crypto mining phone farm and are looking for a good tutorial, I recommend you check out Retro Mike Tech's YouTube channel. He is very knowledgeable on this subject, and he has some great step-by-step tutorials on how to set it up. I'll link the video I used to set up mine in the description below. Now, current profitability and break-even times aren't always the best gauge if you should mine a certain crypto token or not, as they can drastically changed from day to day. Case in point, my break-even times is significantly shorter right now than the current one, and that's because I was able to mine a lot of my veruscoin at significantly lower prices. But mining difficulty has also increased as the token price increases, incentivizing more miners to join. So it really is a cat and mouse game. Which brings us to the question, was it worth setting up this phone farm? In my opinion, I would say absolutely yes. I make a lot of speculative bets on different crypto miners and crypto projects on this channel. Some work out and some unfortunately don't. And this one's done pretty well for us over the last year. Now, I know some of you are going to say, well, you should have just bought veruscoin at 37 cents last year instead of purchasing and building this phone farm. You would be so far ahead today if you would have done that. And yes, with the benefit of hindsight, yes, that would have been the better case. But I still think mining will be a better bet long term. We'll have to wait and see. Obviously, I'll keep you guys updated through my month-end earnings review videos, and we'll do another veruscoin update video here in a couple months. But really, I'm holding all my various coins that I've mined, and I'm waiting for the elusive bull market to come so we can see much, much higher prices to sell. Who knows, maybe that day will never come, but my chips are on the table.